Alright, this is the fifth war of Season 6 for 4 Loki. We are facing MNG, Marvel's Notorious Gamers. I believe they've finished top 3 in each of the seasons to this point. This first node is a rank 5 Cosmic, which I know is a Hyperion, so I throw on an invulnerability boost just to be extra safe. Mainly because it's got Power Stat 1 with extra power gain and the defensive trait. So he could get stingy and decide not to throw specials in the fight. And I just don't want to run the risk of eating an SP3. Even though Magic most likely would survive it, I'd rather play the fight as safe as possible against an alliance like this, where we know every single death is going to count big. And as you see here, he does get to an SP3 and I don't get my SP2, but he doesn't even throw his SP3. And I'm able to get to my SP2 and get the power lock going, so at that point the fight's a wrap for Magic, and wasted invulnerability boost, but better safe than sorry. Next up will be Node 16, the Power Reserve Kinetic Reactor Unblockable Special 1 node. Alright, now you see going into this fight that it is a rank 2 duped 6-star science champion, and when looking at this gentleman's profile I saw a rank 5 5-star void and was quite surprised to see coming into the fight that it was actually a rank 2 6-star duped void. Pretty crazy having both those champs on his profile. That's pretty cool. I think Void's a really good champion. That'd be great to have both a rank 5 5-star and a rank 2 duped 6-star. But yeah, just gonna play this like any other fight on Power Reserve with OGV. Just lay into him, constantly using specials to keep his power drained. As long as I don't do anything foolish, it's an easy fight. You just play it smart, use your parries, don't do anything risky in the course of the fight. If you notice, I really don't play around the 10-hit mechanic of Void, like at all, with OGV. I do every here or there, but for the most part, I just pretty much freely lay into him with combos and specials. With being able to keep his power drain throughout the course of the fight, and never having to worry about baiting specials, you're pretty much free to just attack into him, so as long as he doesn't get into like a really defensive state, you really don't have to worry about any time loss of not being able to attack into him. Over the course of the fight, yeah, you might lose some health from having debuffs on you here and there for a short bit, but I'm not too concerned. I'd rather just play the fight freely and, you know, use a health part or two for future fights if I need to, and just not worry about the 10-hit mechanic. Yeah, so pretty easy fight, like most fights are on this node for OGV. Just gotta not mess up and you'll get through the fight, no problem. The next node, node 23 Masochism, you will see I did the same exact thing as last war. Here you'll see a screenshot of a rank 5 Sabertooth, and I apparently forgot to record it, which is too bad because it had gone really well. It was another typical OGV fight on the Masochism node where you try to place the heal blocks after triggering the Masochism, so you're not going to heal them, and it, you know, removes Sabertooth's charges with the heal block. I typically record my fights 1 or 2 at a time just because line chat, anything over 5 minutes, it won't post the whole video. And apparently it leads to me forgetting to record them sometimes, so hopefully that's the last time that I forgot to do it this season, but no guarantees there. But anyways, this is the node 29 rank 5 Killmonger with my rank 5 magic. Got the max recoil with max double edge, power star boost with mystic boosts. Try to get him to the corner as quick as I can. Try to cycle the SP2s as quick and often as I can to keep him corner locked. Try to get the stand-up intercepts. Do the 4-hit evade, then light attack counter on his medium attacks when I won't have my SP2s. and just repeat the process pretty much. Just try to keep them holed up in the corner and keep the SP2s going. You see right here, I actually almost got an SP3 off that SP2. I got too much power return, and that's actually because all hits of the SP2 actually crit, and with the MD from Masochism and the Mystic Boost, it was actually too much, because the SP2s basically never crit on this node with all the crit resist from the node and from Killmonger himself. So yeah, that's a rarity, because the SP2s never crit on this node. That's the first time I've ever had that happen. But yeah, that's Killmonger on node 29 down. A little trouble connecting at the end here. Just try and scare you a little, I guess. Kabam. And their service, man, I tell you. Anyway, next node is node 34, and it's a Korg. I looked there and saw my power boost was still going. At this point, I'm contemplating, do I want to hop in this fight with Dex on, or do I want to take Dex off and have to use another power boost, because I really want a power boost for this fight. But I'm scared out of my mind, honestly, to go into this fight with Dex. Not because of the crowd excitement mechanic with the Korg, but because of the burden of might on the node, where if I trigger any buffs, I'm going to lose my power. And, you know, fighting anyone with magic, really, it's all about those SP2s. Those are your big damage dealers. And, you know, the power drain, power steal, power lock really allows you to not have to worry about specials and just lay into the fight. So early on, triggering the heavies, or baiting the heavies, trying not to trigger Dex, not worrying about the thorns, using parries when I got his rock shield down as often as I can. Here, doing a little evade light attack counters on his dash-ins, getting a little risky, but didn't trigger any Dexes. Bait the heavies, get the parries in with the rock shield down, and here you see Plague Mind is about to trigger, and as he stands to attack, I dash back, trigger my SP2 right as Plague Mind goes, and I actually retain all the power from the SP2 power steal because the Plague Mind had reset as it was occurring. So that timing couldn't have worked out any better to make the end of this fight an easy clinch. Yeah, that really sealed the deal with the end of the fight being a nice easy finish. So yeah, that was rank 5 Korg on node 34. Really pleased with how that went. I was pretty scared going in, but I couldn't have been any happier with that outcome. Next up is node 36. This will be my final fight of the war. It is the Stun Immune, Bleed, Rolling Thunder, and Breakthrough node. It is a rank 5 Sentinel. As you can see, I have a combat regen boost going. I had one of those expiring in the stash, so it was pretty much used at this war, or watch it expire. Just gonna play this node super safe, like I would any other node. Bait the heavies, burn the power. Not very concerned with pushing him to max analysis on this node because of the breakthrough. You know, the longer the fight goes, the more hits I put into him, the more it breaks down his armor, and the more damage I will be doing the later it goes. On other nodes, I'd be much more concerned with OGV and pushing him to max analysis that early on, and OGV potentially timing out the fight. On this node, it doesn't even slightly concern me with the breakthrough, because it's just going to ramp up my damage. Being a max analysis, it will cause my power drains on specials to drain a lot less, which in turn will make OGV's specials do very little damage, as they're purely based on power drain. But it doesn't really matter, as the physical combo attacks are going to be ramping up throughout the fight the longer it goes. So yeah, pretty easy fight. Just don't do anything dumb, and you know, just take your time and get through the fight. This was a very close war with MNG. I think we were tied at like 120 attacker kills apiece. And then we had a few deaths, I believe, around the 120, 130 mark that kind of set us back. And we fell behind, and they did end up taking the win. So good job to MNG, good war, and thanks for watching.